Carrie and Tommy love thinking outside the box, and so do our friends at Liberty. Liberty loans hit different. They're free thinking just like you. Find flexible loans at liberty.com.au. Eligibility criteria apply.
It's the one and only
Carrie Bickmore.
And Tommy Little.
This
Is Carrie and Tommy.
Yeah, welcome to another Carrie and Tommy podcast. You got to make sure you're following on the socials at Carrie Tommy Show. How are you guys going?
Up and about, I am Bickers. How are you?
Do you know what I had for dinner last night?
What?
For the first time, I think, since I was 12, fish fingers.
Wow!
Ewan's guess was pretty close.
So close.
What did you say? Fish. Yeah, I had fish fingers.
Did you? Were they
I
burnt
used
on
to
the
have
outside,
fish
frozen on the
fingers as a
inside?
kid all the time. No, and then I don't know. I just never give them to my kids, and my kids were like, "I just really want fish fingers." And I was like, "Fish fingers? That's a blast from the past." And so I made them.
You made them?
Sorry, no, I bought them and heated them up. I made the chips from scratch, though.
Did you?
They were decidedly disgusting next to the fish fingers.
Yeah.
Nothing can replace just a proper chip. If you're
Also,
gonna have a
packet chips are
chip,
pretty
just-
good.
Yeah.
Packet chips. just in the
Oh,
oven
the
are pretty
frozen
good.
ones.
Yeah,
Yes, they
yeah.
are. No, I
You
just
can get
cut
those.
up the potatoes. Old
Yeah.
school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And most of them
Hey,
are left on the plate.
This might rock your world because I've never had a fish finger.
What do you mean?
Never in my life.
Did your parents never give you fish fingers?
No, I've told you this before. We had sausages and mashed potatoes.
No, I know,
and
but you say
broccoli
that
and carrot.
every night. You didn't. You
We
can't
had
have
it
had
every night.
every single night.
We had it every night. And then my mum went through a phase. Sorry, we had pancakes on Sunday, which my dad cooked with no sugar.
For
They were
dinner?
disgusting.
Or-
Yeah, for dinner. Pancakes and Vegemite. And
Pancakes and Vegemite.
yeah,
Are you sure you haven't been punished?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Pancake. I guess if they didn't have sugar in though, it's just like having Vegemite on toast.
Yeah, it was. It was just like
Yeah.
wet bread.
Did you have
And-
butter?
To be
with
fair,
that?
I wouldn't have wanted
Nah.
to give you any sugar as a child. I think that's fair.
And then my mum went through a phase of making Caesar salads.
Oh, that's right. I remember
And so
that.
like
Yeah.
for 5 nights
You had
for a
Caesar
year,
salad,
I
which
had
is what
Caesar
every
salad
teenager wants.
with no chicken.
Just with a
and the
poached egg.
family would take theirs out of
Yeah,
the bowl,
and you just
then
have
I'd
lettuce.
have the bowl.
So weird. But I still find that if that's what you were eating, it weird that you weren't having fish fingers because that's something that a family like that would love.
We would have loved anything different.
Anything that Mum didn't make.
just something else. Anything.
Anyway,
Hey, so much still to come on the show. We've got another trip to paradise to give away today, Bickers. That is coming up very soon. You could be jetting off with us next week if you're a lucky winner.
4 left. Is that right? 4 spots.
Ooh. Exciting stuff.
What's
But
up next?
I've got a fascinating study. If you're like me, you will be fascinated by this. So if you think you physically resemble me, listen up for what I'm
quite
like.
specific.
I know. Just join us next.
Carrie and Tommy.
For your Monday Arvo, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
As you know, because I spend my weekends poring over medical journals.
Looking for something to help you.
What's wrong with me?
Are they peer
Find
reviewed
it
studies?
Something
you
in
reckon?
here.
Deep in the annals of the library.
The annals.
The annals. Is that what it's called?
I don't know. How
anyway.
far up the annal is it?
It's right at the back of the annals, I think.
Oh,
You
you
ever
gotta
go
get
to
in
the
there.
back of the annals of the library?
No, but my son was recently studying in the state library and he said it was absolutely beautiful.
It's a thing on TikTok.
Is it?
Yes, it is. We had a tourist come and stay with us, and all she wanted to do was go to the state library
Oh, beautiful.
and
Times
film
have changed.
herself being in the state library.
Once upon a time, as a
Oh,
tourist,
terribly.
we wanted to go out and get drunk. Now, I'd like to go to the state library.
Kids are drinking less and less. It's
Yeah,
sad.
they are. Do you ever wonder? Anyway, yeah. I was just thinking before about all of your sausages that you ate. I know we're talking about something now different. And then
2
you're
meals a day.
drinking,
Let's not forget that.
And then you're drinking stuff. Do you ever wonder if you were cut open, what your insides would look like?
Sausages and booze.
It can't be good.
Well, we're back to the medical annals.
oh, sorry. Back to your medical journals.
What is the biggest part of my body?
the what?
The biggest part of my body. Carrie, you can see it. You're looking at it. You're
Your
looking at
head.
it. You're looking at it.
Your head. Your nose.
Your
Your
thank
nose.
you, Carrie. You have ridiculed me on this show quite often for the length of my snout.
Well, it's just that you can't drink out of a champagne flute.
No, I can't. That's why I invented NASA's nose glasses, which has a little indent on the other side. They're perfect
Quite a
for
niche
people like
product.
me. Yes. Well, guess what, Carrie? The big nose, big hose hypothesis is true. A team of scientists have studied the noses and genitals of recently deceased corpses. And they've determined that the big nose...
I thought it was hose, meaning women. Anyway, that's why I was like, what?
Carrie.
Big nose. Anyway,
Carrie.
yeah, sorry.
Carrie.
No, I know. That's why I thought this is a medical journal. It's a weird thing to review.
Studying a lot of weird stuff these days.
I mean, even going for a rhyming thing in a medical thing.
It's very weird.
Okay, we've got 10 of the best scientists in the world today. What are we studying? What are we finding a cure for? A big nose, big hose is what we're working on today. The researchers looked at 126 male corpses for their study. And weren't you lucky to be one of these researchers in Kyoto at the Prefectural University of Medicine? And all the males were aged between 30 and 50 years old. So bang in the middle of that. And they looked, the team took measurements of the body's height, weight, length and girth of their penis.
Were they all Japanese? I was just thinking it was in Kyoto. I wondered whether
Maybe.
there's a cultural link there at all. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
I don't think hoses are a cultural thing.
What?
I don't think
No,
hoses
the
are.
size of noses or size of body parts, whether it changes culturally.
Do
does it?
Do you mean like ethical, like ethnicity?
Ethnicity, yes.
Right, sorry. I thought
Sorry.
you meant how much they'd taken in the arts.
What?
No,
What?
the arts, culture.
Oh,
Sorry. Oh my God.
I think we need to dump that.
No, sorry, the arts.
Arts.
The arts. Oh my gosh. I've shocked myself.
Well, I'd love also that none of us dumped it. We just sat there with our mouth
I
aghast.
studied the arts.
No, culturally
I
as in
take
like...
in the arts a lot.
I mean, as in their heritage. Anyway, so what has it found? That people with bigger noses
Have bigger hoses. It says, yes, the nose size is a good indicator of penile length, which
and
is
how do you
fascinating.
feel about that study?
Misled. And how
That's
good's
why I
this?
wondered whether there's a cultural element.
How good is this for a final sentence?
In a medical journal.
In a medical journal. So it goes on and says that is a thing that is linked. And then it says the team only found a weak correlation, however, between nose size and the weight of your balls.
But why is research studying that? Do we need to care if you've got a big nose and big balls?
Also, it insinuates here that
Why are we
one
doing this at
researcher.
3
It says
Raise that question.
it's because it's in medical stuff and it's important to know. It said, don't worry, calls are clean. 13, 10, 60.
Hold on. Why? Can I ask a genuine question? Do you think that's a good use of medical research money?
So here's what one thing that I find.
No, seriously, like, because is it
Well, I
interesting
bet you
enough
it's
that it
funded by
makes it?
it's funded by a bloke with a big nose. Let's be honest.
And what does it help us know about the world?
Just respect us more.
And also, it's misleading because you've had a nose job, and then it's
I haven't
like
had
your
a nose
Tinder
job.
profile not looking like.
No
not
one's getting
you,
a nose
you should
job
get one.
to get a bigger nose.
So yeah, it insinuates here that one researcher measured the nose and another researcher went down and measured.
Hold on, one researcher did all the noses, and the other
Imagine if you
researcher
got
did all the hoses.
All right, let's
Imagine go,
compare.
oh, what do you want today, Barry? I got
But some
hoses.
someone also had to do the weight of the.
I know.
I know.
And are you sitting like you're putting a suitcase on a?
They're dead.
Are you putting a suitcase on scales? Is that how you're sitting down?
Probably.
To,
You're probably
Yeah.
popping, you're
or
probably
are you
popping them
like,
up on.
is someone just doing a bit of a like hand
Wait.
weight?
13 10 60. I think you'll appreciate these calls, Carrie. Give us a call, men, and we have to guess whether you've got a big nose, a big hose, or both.
But most men are going to say they've got big hoses.
Great fun calls.
That's what you all do.
No, we don't. We speak down our game and then wave our lengthy noses in the air and hope you notice. Give us a call, 13 10 60. Men, we want to guess if you've got a big nose.
Oh my God, our poor girls on phones have just said, how? What are we asking these
Just if
people?
they just ask, we're
To
gonna
Zoe, what?
interview
Get buzz
them.
on Zoe.
We're going to interview them, Zoe, and we'll guess through chatting with them.
But what's
whether
Zoe
they've-
meant to say to these people?
Hi. Start
Hi,
with
do you have a big hose and a big
yeah.
nose?
Yeah, or both. But then
Carrie
don't
and
tell
Tommy,
us.
do you have a big hose?
Yeah, that's how you usually answer. Don't pretend you don't. You've been doing that for the time game for years. 13 10 60. Call us, and we'll guess if you've got a big nose, a big hose, or both.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia for your Monday Arvo, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little. And on 13 10 60, we're talking noses and hoses.
Yes, the big nose, big hose hypothesis is true, according to a study, a medical study. Of course, I've been deep in the annals of the medical studies this weekend, and they've determine that theory is true.
But was there has that always been an idea that people had? I thought it was big feet, big toes, big hoses.
Well, this is what the study is about. It says nose is the primary determining factor.
But is that what you guys have thought? Is that what we've all thought? Is that just
certainly not what
as a fella with a big nose, it's what I've said.
Just hoped.
What I prayed.
I just didn't know if they're proving something that everyone's always thought, or whether no one's ever made comparison between noses and hoses.
I don't. It's the first I've heard of the big nose, big hose theory. I'll be honest. So we're asking for calls on 131060. We're going to interview people and then guess whether they have a big nose, a big hose, or both. This was your idea, Carrie. Why don't you kick it off?
Oh my God! Hey, Luke.
Hi, how are you guys?
Pretty good, Luke. What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do for a job, Luke?
I'm a factory hand, family business.
Oh, family
Ooh,
business.
So
Have
you
you-
use your hands, do you?
Yes.
Jesus Christ!
Actually, I don't know what relevance that has.
Why'd you make it sound so dirty? Oh, g'day, Luke. Use your hands, do ya? Use both of them, Luke.
What's your best sense, Luke? Is it your sight? Is it your sound? Is it your
You
smell?
can't just ask questions like that.
I'd say it's not my eyesight, probably my hearing.
Your hearing. Luke, are you a family? You said it's a family business. Are you a family man yourself? Do you have a
What's that
partner
got
and
to
kids?
do with anything?
I do not have a partner and kids. I am 22.
Well, obviously.
This is big hose energy.
Yes, but I live with some family, so yeah.
Okay.
I reckon if he doesn't have a partner, it's small hose enery.
Well, I got
Do you
a
reckon?
missus. I just don't have a wife and kids.
But
I also
I know, but what's she waiting for, you know?
Maybe I got a few of them.
It's this big hose energy for sure. Well, what are you saying, Carrie?
I'm saying
You can
neither.
say both. Neither.
I'm
Okay.
saying small nose, small hose.
Okay, I'm saying big hose, Luke. What have you got?
I got a small nose and a massive hose, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Luke. Appreciate that. Well done. Thank you
See
for being so
how can you
brave.
tell, though?
Thank you for
They're
being-
all going to say that. That's what I mean. They're all going to say, unless we're going to get photos
Oh,
sent through.
Carrie.
Carrie. Oh,
More on Instagram.
hey.
No, please
Oh, my
don't. Please
God.
don't. Please don't. I don't check my DMs.
G'day, Brad.
Hello, guys.
How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, Braddles?
I'm a concreter, mate. Concreter for 35 years. 4 kids, 5 grandkids.
How is it on your back, Brad?
It's okay on the back if you keep moving.
Okay. And are your hands, if I was to shake hands with you, would it feel like I'm shaking a calloused mitt?
Yeah, I'll break your hand, Tommy.
Would ya?
Have you got a big head or a small head, Brad?
I've got a small head.
I reckon I've heard enough. I reckon Brad has both a big nose and a big hose.
I
Carrie.
think he's got a big nose, small hose.
What have you got, Brad?
They call me teapot for nothing.
Does that mean small
I
nose,
think it
big
means
hose?
tripod. Does it mean tripod, Brad?
That's correct.
Yes.
I'm not getting these
Is,
right.
is your nose big as well, Brad?
It's a small nose.
Yeah,
Oh.
interesting. So those medical guys, they don't know what they're talking about.
You trusting Brad more than the
The
researchers
guys
in
that
Kyoto.
came up with the headline, big nose equals big hose.
The big nose, big hose hypothesis is true.
university.
According to study on corpses.
Marty.
Hi, how you going?
Oh, good, Marty. How are you?
Good.
Marty, what do you do with yourself?
I'm a cleaner.
Are you one of the
Yeah.
one of the oldest jobs in the world and one of the most noble? What's the most disgusting thing you found on the job?
Oh, look, I've done all sorts of things. I've actually used to work at a school where a kid put some toilet paper in the toilet and shat straight on top of it.
Oh my god, Marty! Can I say
This is
I've
more a
never
4
met?
o'clock hour topic.
Can I say I've never met a cleaner that I don't like? You're generally, I reckon cleaners are the best people. Cleaners and nurses are the best people.
Oh, thank you.
No worries at all. And I reckon you have a big nose. I'm sorry to say that. What do you think, Carrie?
I reckon small nose.
What do you think about Marty's hose?
Small nose, big hose.
What have you got, Marty?
I've got a huge nose and no hose.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
It's Gary Bickmore and
So
Tommy
we've
Little.
established it's Cher.
Cher.
Not Cher.
Cher.
Cher. I didn't realise I had so much in common with Cher. So we've obviously known Maria from The Sound of Music, her favourite
Bright
things.
copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages.
They're not my
tied
favourite
up.
things. So I don't have any much. I love that movie, but I don't have things in common with Maria. Do I have things in common with Ariana Grande?
Breakfast at Tiffany's and bottles of bubbles. Girls with tattoos who like getting in trouble. Lashes and diamonds, ATM
I don't need the
machines.
diamonds.
Brown lip
Anyway,
tattoo.
there are a few of her favourite things. But Cher has
Are
said
we
what
doing
some
a
of
radio play?
her favourite things are. I found an article from the 90s, and it's where Cher lists what her favourite.
Hang on, sorry.
If
on.
I could find a way. Yeah,
Carrie, why did you play those other two bits of
because
music?
they're all my favourite things, and Cher's listed her favourite things.
Oh, I get it. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first thing was Maria from Sound of Music's
Don't play it
favourite
again,
things.
please.
I'm not into brown paper packages tied up with string. That doesn't do it for me. But some of Cher's favourite things really do it for me. So she loves warm baths, tick, dancing.
With other people and dogs? 'Cause
She
that's
doesn't
your thing.
specify.
Does she wee in the bath? Also your
She
thing?
doesn't specify. She just says
Oh,
she
that's
likes
why the
warm
bath's
baths,
warm.
dancing. She likes funny jokes, tick. She likes false eyelashes, tick. She likes playing
question.
with chastity, which I don't really know what that means.
I assume it's a dog. Isn't it?
In the bath.
A Chaz.
Oh, I thought chastity was like a way of living.
Yeah, a chastity belt is to stop you.
Well, that's
doing
your
So
favourite thing.
chastity means
Yeah, it
not
is.
participating in getting action.
To be chaste.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Well, I'm doing that accidentally, so I guess I'm doing that as well. But in this case, she was talking about her child. Oh, good. She's into midriff tops, bright colours, going shopping, the beach, being in love, large dinner parties, tick, tick, boom, crystal clean sheets, spending money, funky
Carrie-
shoes. She's into funky shoes. I'm into funky shoes.
Carrie, this is the most cliche list I've ever heard.
I don't think so. She likes Aretha Franklin records. I do too.
What? Name three Aretha
You're
Franklin
gonna
songs.
ask me. I like Aretha Franklin. I just
one.
can't name her songs right now. But
No,
I love
one. Respect.
Oh,
yeah.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Yes, you can spell it.
Yes. But here she also mentions her pet peeves, which I think we'll agree are quite common.
Have you
She
got any
hates
songs?
knee-length tailored skirts. Hates them.
See, this is more specific.
She hates knee-length tailored skirts.
Why
She-
is that something to hate?
I don't know. You've got to ask Cher. I think she finds them like I
Like,
do.
wouldn't you
nothing.
just not wear them?
Either wear a long one or a short one. What's a knee-length tailored skirt? Really, it's a nothing.
I find it leaves. No, don't say anything.
Because she says she also doesn't like conservative clothes. So,
Neither.
no. She says she doesn't like weak men. Tick. She doesn't like scratchy sweaters. Tick. She doesn't like without love. Tick. She doesn't like being poor. That's good for her. She'll never have to worry about that.
Okay.
She doesn't like bland food.
Who does?
But some people do. A lot of people don't like flavours.
They
They don't like spice.
bland.
Yes,
Isn't
there's
the
a lot
idea-
of people that
You
like
never
bland
say bland
food.
as a compliment, do you?
There's a condition, isn't there?
Like you don't go.
Oh, but
"That's
like-
No, I
like
don't think you have to have a
beige food,
condition to
like-
just like
yeah.
bland food. I think some people don't like flavours. They just have higher taste buds, issues.
Yeah, the producer's pointing out I grew up eating only sausages and mash. I didn't like it.
Someone in the
I wonder
house.
if I
did.
went on a date with someone, they said they only like bland food, whether I would be right off them. I think I might be.
Really?
Like the idea of someone not being adventurous in the food department.
What if they said they really loved mid-length tailored skirts?
That would pique my interest, I think. I just think the bland bit, you're right, bland is such a negative word. But there'd be people
Well-
that only like sausages, only like pasta,
I think in general, people that are wary of what they put in their mouth is.
only like mashed potato, only like chips.
You like all those things.
Yes, but I also like spicy food and I like flavours.
What flavours?
I like cumin and like. I didn't want to say the other one.
Adventurous.
I like paprika and I like.
What was one you didn't want to say?
Yeah.
What flavour?
Anyway, I wanted to ask people. I don't know whether I want to speak to bland people or whether I want to talk to people about their pet peeves.
Should work
Can
out
you
now
be
because we're
bland?
live.
I know. Can you like bland things but be interesting? 13, 10, 60. Do you only like bland
Yeah.
food, but you think you're really still quite interesting? Because
You're
I don't
using-
think you can be both.
You're using this show to essentially do phone dating, aren't you? That's a yes,
13,
isn't
10,
it?
60.
Men.
Are you
wanna
interesting, but
date
you only
Carrie?
eat bland
After the
food?
phone
Give
we
us
did
a
earlier
call.
in the show.
13,
Yeah, you should have
10,
done Big Nose.
60.
Carrie and Tommy.
I'm just asking, is it possible that you only like bland food, but you're still interesting? Because we were going through a list of Cher's pet peeves.
Yes.
Cher as in, if I could turn back time. All that one. Yep. And she doesn't like bland food, and neither do I. And we were discussing whether you can only like bland food, but be an interesting person. Matt, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. How are you?
You sound like you don't like what you're hearing.
Well, they're saying I'm not an interesting person.
Well, do you like bland food, do you, Matt?
I like meat and potatoes.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
it.
Okay.
A steak, nice rump steak
Yum.
with mashed potatoes. That's it.
Do you have, Matt, is there anything in the mash? Are you chucking a bit of cream or butter or something?
Oh, it has cream and stuff like that in it, but I don't never put onions or anything like that in it.
What about do you have like a sauce on the steak, like a peppercorn or a gravy? Gravy.
And Matt, tell us about you. What do you? What's some interesting things about you?
I'm a life coach, or I have been a life coach. I was in the army. I fixed helicopters.
Oh, you got me, Matty. What helicopters do you work on?
The Chinook helicopter.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
That's so because he's so
He's
interesting.
trying to pick up the wrong person here.
Yeah, I'll have a crack, Matty.
Maddie, that's just what your job is. But what, like, to hang out with? What's the most interesting thing about you?
Most thing is,
what's your?
I can fix anything.
That's good.
I mean, that's handy.
That's very handy.
I'm a very handy person.
What about hobbies?
Blandy and handy.
What about hobbies? What do you do in your spare time?
I go to the gym. I go to comedy shows. I love your comedy show that you did.
See,
Ken, you're talking
he's
to the
awesome.
wrong man.
Maddie, we can hang out
like
anytime.
bland men.
No, he's not bland. He fixes choppers.
Sounds awesome.
What do you mean?
If he spoke to me about fixing choppers for the whole date, I would want to
I forgot
bury
you're
my
using
head
this
in
as
the
your
bland
personal
food.
dating site.
The mashed potato would
So-
have my face in
So,
it.
Maddie, you're on a date with Carrie now. What would you like to chat? I think Maddie said I do.
Oh, Maddie's funny.
Yeah. What would you be talking to Carrie about?
Whatever her interests are.
Oh, what are your interests, Carrie? Oh, it's flipped on its head now. How interesting are
Now
you?
you've gotta be
Well, I love food, Maddie. What's your favourite restaurant?
What?
Oh, Indian. So I do like a tandoori chicken.
We're not.
But
this
Carrie,
is-
to be
yeah.
fair, you
No,
you just brought it back to food.
Yeah, because I like food.
But then,
So that's what I'm saying. It would be tricky to date someone who liked bland
but you
food.
need
if
to have
I
another interest other than just food.
do like to eat.
Yeah,
I do like to gym.
But I think
we could gym
are
together.
you
I'm
hoping?
not using this as a dating app. I'm just
It seems you are. Let's go to your next
Rosa.
potential suitor.
Rosa.
Hi there.
Oh, she sounds sweet.
Rosa,
I
are you a
eat
bland
lot of
eater?
So bland.
Like, what do you eat?
So salt and pepper is too much for me. It actually takes the skin off my mouth.
Oh, Rosa.
Is it a condition or just a thing that you don't
No,
like?
I just don't like it. No, not even flavors. Same as the last caller. No onions, no veggies, no anything with flavor I don't like.
I don't make a dish without starting by putting onion in it. It's pretty much my garlic and onion is my base to
What about
any
when
meal.
you're making a cake?
That's
Except for that,
poison.
obviously, it's poison.
It's poison.
Rosa, you have the sweetest voice I think I've ever heard. Carrie wants to know though, are you interesting? Can you tell us something interesting about yourself?
I think probably my first thing I'd start off with is I was a clown for 10 years.
Oh, I love all these people. Carrie, these are my people.
That is true. Oh, again, they're your people.
Yeah, Rosa,
but
what type
that
of-
is an interesting job.
What
It's a
type?
very funny job.
What type of clowning did you do?
I was a kids party clown, so I'd spend all weekend partying and eating
that's what I
junk
used
food,
to
but
do.
all the kids safe food.
And can you do balloon animals?
The best ones. I can make balloon motorbikes and balloon T-Rexes.
Carrie.
What are you doing
really
now, Rosa?
I've just pulled over so I don't get in trouble.
I think
I mean
Rosa,
in
I think
life.
Carrie Mendes chose the job.
Oh, sorry. For work. At the moment, I'm teaching art classes.
Oh, I love her.
yeah.
I love her. I love her, Carrie.
Let's date,
Whatever
Rosa.
you don't have.
Carrie and Tommy.
Because United Airlines are currently being sued.
Oh, what have they done?
They've got the wrong Asian person.
Oh, no.
That's what they've done allegedly.
What have they accused this person of doing?
So there was a flight returning from a conference in Las Vegas full of real estate agents. Bit of fun. And
Gross.
Shout out to real estate agents listening.
No, I'm not saying real estate agents are gross. I'm saying...
Clarify.
No, I'm just saying there's
Sounded
something
like
about
when you
trips
come
to
back from a
Vegas that
conference.
just feel a bit dirty.
When have you been to a conference in Vegas?
I've been to a conference in Vegas. We did go to Vegas for the Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
when
that's
I was
right.
heavily
You
pregnant.
ended up pregnant. Yeah.
No, I was already pregnant. Vegas pregnant is not a great idea, guys.
That's one of my more shameful moments when you asked if anyone wanted a drink, and I said, get a bucket of Coronas, and then a heavily pregnant woman
Waddled back over,
back to the pool.
barely being able to carry it.
I was in the pool, and I said, just throw them in the pool.
We're all having fun.
Anyway, their flight got diverted, and they were stuck on the ground in Baltimore, and they were stuck for 5 hours on the tarmac because there was no gates available. And one of the passengers started to feel quite unwell. The flight attendant...
Is this at the end of the conference? On the way back?
On the way back. Yeah,
of course.
One of the passengers was feeling quite unwell, and the flight attendant, according to the lawsuit, was quite dismissive of her medical conditions. And that is when one of the female Asian passengers had to go at the flight attendant for her snarkiness.
Oh.
Then the passengers got off the plane while they waited for the weather, and then when they went to board back on the plane, they stopped an Asian woman, and they said, "I'm sorry, there's been a complaint made about you by the flight attendant, and you were not allowed on the plane." But this Asian woman claims that was the other Asian woman.
Oh my God!
Who complained to the hostess, and her fellow co-workers stood up for her, and they
so she wasn't allowed on the plane. Or
they
let
all
her?
weren't. Then 4 of them. The
Oh
co-workers,
my God, they
the
hadn't done
co-workers,
anything.
the co-workers who stood up for her and said, "Guys, you've got the wrong Asian person." They went, "Nah, well, now all of you are off." And so now she has taken them to court for a discrimination lawsuit.
So she should.
So she was mistakenly taken for another Asian passenger seated several rows away from her, she says, because here's what I want to know. 13, 10,
I've
60.
been mistaken for Sonia Kruger before.
Have you?
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
And I've been mistaken for Jackie O. And I've been mistaken for Fifi Box.
You should sue.
I know. Any other blonde woman on broadcasting, we're all the same, apparently.
To who? To
Barbara Walters?
Barbara Walters.
Not yet. I'm sure it'll come.
13, 10, 60. I want to know if you've been falsely accused of something, a la you being Fifi Box or this
I
Asian
take that.
passenger.
I'm happy to be Fifi Box.
Oh, she's the only one you singled out of the list. You
No, it's
did.
just that the
Shots
Sonia
across the
Kruger
bow to
one was
Sonia
about my
Kruger.
dancing. And anyway, I would happily dance like Sonia Kruger. Did you see last night on Dancing with the Stars? She redid her scene from Strictly Ballroom.
Shoot me.
I thought that was
I
you.
know. I wish it was me. She's extraordinary.
I don't
She's
doubt that.
So fit.
I don't doubt that. But
And such an amazing dancer.
I just don't need to see a scene that I haven't originally seen redone.
But hold on,
It would
you
be
hadn't
lost
seen
on me.
Torval and Dean before, and you loved seeing that redone.
Weren't they wonderful?
Actually, they
That was 'cause
performed on the weekend, and everyone said they were extraordinary.
Oh, my God. Who cares, Carrie?
I know, this has become a really weird segment about shows I watched on the weekend.
What's Carrie watched on the box? 13, 10,
They did
60.
their reunion show on ice. They were amazing, apparently.
Who? Who?
Torval and Dean.
No, who cares? It's going to be the sentence.
No, you loved meeting Torval and Dean.
Oh, my gosh. 13.
Remember when we discovered that everyone always thought they were a couple and they weren't a couple? And they did kiss once on the back of the bus?
You guys did the dance?
Yeah, I remember the dance bit. Anyway, he's lost interest.
You can just go to the podcast and catch up on that yourself, Sammy, I reckon.
About a year ago.
13, 10, 60. Mistaken identity. Have you been falsely accused of something you didn't do? Give us a call.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
What am I saying, Carrie?
Right now you're saying when you've been accused of something you didn't do.
That's correct. United Airlines got the wrong Asian woman, and they didn't allow her to board a plane because they said she'd made a remark to the hostess, and she had to inform them, I believe that was the other Asian woman, and they said no, and now she's suing them. G'day, Hayley.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. What were you falsely accused of?
I was accused of stealing from an adult store.
Whoa.
Were you in the adult store to start with?
I was in with my younger sister. We're just having a look around
Yeah.
And they had a couple of people steal some adult toys. And we walked in, looked around. We didn't really do much. Went to walk back out, and the sirens went off as we walked out, as if I've stolen something.
Yeah.
And they said, we're going to call the police on you. You're going to go to jail. You've stolen something. Just give us back what you stole. And I'm a nice person. I don't steal. So I was like, I haven't stolen anything. Check the cameras. And about 20 minutes went by. They're like, the police are on their way. They're going to come arrest you. They finally checked the cameras to see that I hadn't stolen anything. But, yeah, because I looked like someone that they had up on the poster board with baggy clothes, tomboy, Eshe get up. But
Come clean, Hayley. Where had you hidden it?
No, I'm not the type of person to steal, but...
Hayley, were they apologetic when they found out it wasn't you?
No, they're like, you can leave now. And then I just...
Should have taken something on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good on you, Hayley. Thank you. Because who got?
Paul. Hey, Paul.
How you going? Good.
It's so mortifying when you do that.
It's like when you
I'm well.
call the teacher mum in school.
Paul, when were you falsely accused of something?
Yeah, well, this is amazing. I'm living in London, and I'm at this bar just sipping on a martini, shaken not stirred, to be honest. And I was wearing a tuxedo at the time. Now, about this crew of girls said, there's Daniel Craig, 007, and spitting image, they said. And I basically owned it. I became Daniel Craig that night. And
I love it.
Having looked, I had a good look at the jawline after that, and I said to myself, it's actually not a bad call, girls. I am Daniel.
How long did you spend with them?
Well, I spent about 2 weeks, ended up in Ibiza actually about 3 weeks later. So
and you were still as Daniel Craig the whole time?
They accused me of that. They said I was Daniel Craig, so I owned it and I became Daniel. And as I said, on with Daniel now, and years have gone on, but
Paul,
I've stayed in good shape.
In typical Bond fashion, how many of those women did you end up being romantically involved with?
No. I as Daniel is, he's a gentleman, so
Daniel beds everyone.
No alternative motive for me, mate. I just enjoyed my time with.
Oh, Paul, that's a giant waste of time.
Paul, you have
to be Daniel Craig for the night in your tuxedo and go to Ibiza for 2 weeks.
and go home alone.
And go home alone.
Oh, well, sometimes it's character building.
Paul,
it's character building.
Build a whole new character.
Paul, you have
it is character
You have
building.
a wonderful but rich Australian accent. Did you change it to be Daniel Craig?
Oh, actually, that's not. You reminded me. I did change it. I just tweaked it. I tweaked it slightly.
Give us a bit of Daniel.
Oh yeah. Where are we heading tonight, ladies?
Paul, I don't know. There's some holes in your story.
I like it. All the same.
I reckon they knew you weren't Daniel Craig and you just found some mates and had a good holiday.
But if they knew, wouldn't they? Paul, did they wonder why Daniel Craig was flying economy?
Well, yeah, that's part of being a gentleman. It's not about me.
That's true. At all, so. Did you find yourself shouting them a lot of drinks?
How disappointing if you were the woman and you'd met Daniel Craig and then he doesn't even fly your business. You're stuck back at economy with him. That would be so annoying.
I know. Did you buy him drinks, Paul?
I think I might have given it away about 2 weeks later when one of them saw me flipping burgers at KFC in Kensington. So, yeah, that didn't do me any favours.
Story's gone from Ibiza to Kensington. Thank you, Paul. We appreciate it. Mr. Daniel, thank you. Mr. Craig. G'day, Ian.
G'day. How are we going today?
You living the dream? You living the dream, thank you. When were you falsely accused?
Well, it wasn't actually me, and this only happened a couple of weeks ago. My wife, we were at a comedy show with a so-called comedian, and he was interacting with an audience member, and as he was finishing up, my wife called out, "Bye, Felicia," which is a bit of a saying that happens around town and whatever. And the comedian, so-called, turned around and said, "I'll be with you in a minute, Anita." I then had to explain to the comedian that no, she'd said, "Bye, Felicia." And he goes, "Oh, so your name's Felicia."
This is not me, is it?
Oh, I think it might be.
When?
In Mackay.
In Mackay. I was in Mackay.
Did you argue? Did you think her name was? Did you not get the Bar Felicia?
Carrie, I don't know if you know about what you do when you're in Mackay, but you get amongst the locals and you drink heavily. And I'm going to trust Ian's recollection
Version
of
of
events. And Ian, I appreciate seeing you at the show, and I hope to see you in Mackay, you and beautiful Felicia soon.
Carrie and Tommy.
Across Australia for your Monday Arvo, Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
The Snooze End of Financial Year sale is on now. Save up to 50% off selected mattresses including Sealy, Madison and Tempur, and up to 40% off selected bed frames. Hurry, sale ends Sunday. Escape to paradise.
If I could escape,
those would be the best memories.
With Carrie and Tommy.
Bye.
Not long. The countdown's on to us escaping to paradise with you, beautiful listeners. What are you laughing at?
I was working out how you were going to get through that tangle of a sentence. The countdown is on for us to escape.
Yes, it is.
You
And
did
you guys
well.
are coming with us.
Yeah.
Return flights for 2, 3 nights accommodation at the Intercontinental Hayman Great Barrier Reef,
Wonderful.
which is beautiful.
Stunning.
Breakfast daily, like $200 resort credit. We're going to do so much fun stuff together. Daniela, how much do you need a holiday?
Oh, I need it so bad.
Tell us a bit about yourself, Daniela.
I'm a mum of 2, a 1 and a 2-year-old.
Ooh, hooly dooly.
So, yes. Do I need to say any more?
Who's having your
I
kids
need a holiday.
when you go away?
It'll be my mum.
Oh, your mum. So who are you taking, your hubby?
No, I'll take my best friend.
Oh.
I need a break from it all.
Yeah, okay. Hey, Daniela, we want you to come on this trip. All you have to do is guess our poolside drink that we are sipping on. These have been going.
Give me an easy one.
Have you been listening and playing along?
Yes, I have.
How have you gone generally?
I've gotten them all so far, so I'm nervous that I'm not going to get this one.
You've absolutely got this. I'm still stuck on. So why won't hubby have the kids?
Because he's got to work. He's just got a new job, so he can't take any time off.
Okay.
Are you done crying, Carrie?
Well, the producer just said hubby was going to have the kid, and suddenly she's ditched him, and I was just...
You're already to whack a poor man that didn't even know he was getting involved in the game.
I know, and he's missing out on the holiday.
I know.
So shouldn't knock him while he's down.
Hey, Daniela, are you ready for your clue to pick your poolside drink?
Yes.
I'm not red. I'm not white. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Not red, I'm not white.
I'm somewhere in the middle. We're talking wine. I'm not a red. I'm not a white. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Am I a rosé?
A rosé you are.
Oh, my God.
Daniela, you're coming to paradise with us.
Wow, thank you so much.
We've got another trip to give away tomorrow, so make sure you're listening from 9 a.m. to get into the boarding lounge this winter. Escape the chill and embrace sun-drenched days with the Intercontinental Hayman Great Barrier Reef's limited time anniversary offer from $525 per night. Conditions apply.
Carrie and Tommy.
Across the country for your drive home, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
So I called you before work today and I said, oh, you're watching the NBA. I could hear it in the background.
Yeah.
And then I said to you, what team do you support? And you said, I don't support a team.
Yeah.
And I find this interesting and I want to understand it because I'm obviously not big into the sports. The round ball stuff. No, what is that ball? That they
It is
play with?
round.
Yes, it is round. Yeah. I do know that.
You've got a basketball ring in your backyard.
My daughter plays basketball.
Yeah,
I'm aware it's round. So, how is it possible to be so obsessed with a sport? Like you really like it. You say you stay up late watching it. You're across all the games. But you don't have a team. How do you then find the passion for it? Like, how do you even know on any given game that's happening, where do you get the passion to back one over the other? Like, do you care which team wins?
Yeah,
how does that work?
I have teams that I want to win and teams that I really like. But like with footy, for instance, I was born in black and white, and so I didn't have any choice in who I supported. And so from a young age, it was just that's who you support. But with the NBA, obviously, we're not from America. I have no allegiance to an area. I don't have, like with football, I had a relative that played. I don't have any family ties to a club. And so initially there's not that. And the players move around so much that even if you become obsessed with a team,
Your
2 years
star
later,
player may be playing for
well,
another
not even
team.
just the start. Literally, the whole starting five might be at different clubs. And so I've just always found it hard over the years. I did go for a team for a short amount of time.
Which was
and then when I was young, it was the Charlotte Hornets because Muggsy Bogues played. Muggsy Bogues is 5'3", and I was really little when I was young and was obsessed with basketball. So I loved
you were
them. What do you mean?
What a whack.
Still taller than you in heels. But anyway.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're not.
I
What
am.
size heels? Because I'm wearing heels too.
No, you don't get to wear the heels.
But
Anyway.
you are a huge woman.
Oh my God.
You get whacked back. Yes.
Anyway,
massive.
so okay, so but then how does that work? So if when you do you ever get passionate about it?
Gigantor, I do. Yes, very much so.
So you get passionate about it, but you don't really. So going into a game, you have a preferred how many teams? 3 or 4 teams. So if they're playing,
no,
you
there's
watch
just
their
one
games.
playing another team, so usually I have a preferred
No,
one
I
team.
know, but across the whole of the NBA, you have what? How many teams that you like?
No, there's some that I really like. There's probably 4 or 5 that I really
So
like.
you go for them, and other than that, you just watch. You just like watching the
I
game
love watching basketball, yeah.
without a personal investment.
Yeah, it's the same with footy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
it's-
agree about American sports. Like, I'd never have a team, but I'd follow certain players. Because, like, even when I spend a bit of time in the States, I would struggle to get on board with the local team. I just wanted to watch the best players.
So how does that work if you are American? Like, do they get really
Yeah, no,
behind a
but-
team,
but I
even though their players then move to another
but
team?
I think it's like here. Like even if Collingwood's whole list get traded,
You'd stay a Pies fan.
I can't move. I'm stuck.
But it doesn't move that much here. If it's moving that much over there, do you think people at more and more become fans of players, not fans of teams?
No,
Or
I reckon over there they're tied to their team. Same
Right.
thing. Yes. Yeah. And I don't have respect for people
Sammy
who
wants
change
to say
teams.
something.
Yes.
You've been leaning into the mic for a good 10 minutes.
Well, I was going to talk about how we talked about Luka Doncic and how he got traded, and he's like a massive star player because he's gone to the Lakers now. But I was going to say on the team thing, it is just generational. Every country you go to, whatever sport they follow, it's bred into you from your family, from your community. And I think sometimes it's good to be outside that from watching another sport. Like I'm into my soccer or football in the UK, but I don't really.
So you don't have a team?
I kind of do. Yeah.
What's your team?
Liverpool.
And why is that? Did you live there once or something?
No, when I was in boarding school, they were the team that a couple of my friends were supporting at the time.
Isn't it funny how we make our allegiances? A couple of
But I'm not
friends at
glued to
boarding
it.
school
Yeah.
liked it, so now it's
But
my team.
But I still prefer watching any teams play and just watching for the love of the game. I think supporting a team can ruin it often.
Yeah,
because
well,
you're
I was
too
going to say
fixated on them winning or losing.
I was going to say, like today with the final, the NBA finals. I think if I wanted Indiana to win, but if I went for them, it would have ruined.
I reckon even in certain games, I've swapped from wanting a team to
That's
win,
so
and then
true.
they get really dominant, and I'm like, oh, I'd be sick to see it come back. And so you start supporting the other one, and then you swap because as the momentum shifts, you're like, you just want it to be tight and exciting.
Well, that's why I thought it was interesting when you went to a Pies game recently,
Yeah.
and I said another one. I think it was a 1-point win or something. You keep having 1-point wins all the time, and you said I'd rather them have won from first quarter and go home. And I'm like, but that's ridiculous because the games are incredible. But you're such a fan, you don't even want a good game. You just want your team to win from the very beginning.
I want to relax after 10 minutes and watch them absolutely destroy an opposition.
And then go sit down with your beer, although you're already sitting, aren't you, because you're so little. That didn't really work.
What does that mean? So I'm little, can I sit here?
I was trying to think of a sledge back, just to round out
The
the
air's
break.
too thin up there, Carrie.
Carrie and Tommy.
One of life's big regrets for me is
What?
not going to Beyonce's concert. Her
When?
show, I mean, she hasn't come to Australia, but I wish I'd gone to see her somewhere in the world.
The Cowboy Carter tour.
Is there still time, Eli? Is she still
Yep, now she's doing the American leg.
And apparently there are
American leg?
seats
What a
available.
Great time to go to America. Yes, apparently there are seats available. However, overnight, Jay-Z made a surprise appearance during her final Paris show of her Cowboy Carter tour. They performed Crazy in Love together. There was also, they performed in Paris, Drunk in Love, Partition. But here's a little bit of Jay-Z's performance with B. Bay. I never quite know.
Bay.
Queen Bee.
Queen Bay.
Or Bay. Queen Bee. Just Bee.
That's why her fans are called the Beehive.
The Beehive.
Are
So
they?
what is the Queen bit? Queen Bay.
Oh, because she's the queen.
Oh, just Queen Bee.
She's the Queen Bee.
Anyway, this is them performing together, Crazy in Love. Still a tune.
I saw an old performance of theirs where Jay missed his verse and Beyonce just stares at him. And in that moment, they're not two performers. They're a husband and
Yeah,
wife.
of course.
And she's like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
And
Do I
then
have
she
to
just
hold the
marches
fort
to the
again?
front and starts singing. It's so good.
So since he's taken to the stage, he's been trending on X, formerly known as Twitter, with the rumour mill claiming he might be headlining the Super Bowl halftime performance in 2026. So there's been heaps of talk around who could potentially join him on stage, whether it's Alicia Keys for Empire State of Mind, potentially Kanye West, although I reckon that's an outside
There's
chance
absolutely
there.
no chance.
Obviously, a big point of contention is Jay-Z is the one that selects who does the halftime performance. So then it would be him
What do you
selecting
mean? That's
himself.
that's his job.
That's his
How
role.
long has he been doing that for?
I don't know, Eli. Through his company, I've got this information. Eli provided it with me. Through his company, Rock Nation, they've been the executive producer of the Super Bowl halftime show since 2019. And it means that's when we've started seeing these revamped halftime shows moving away from traditional rock and country acts and giving you more of a diverse lineup like we've had.
So he got Beyonce and Shakira.
Yes.
No, J-Lo and Shakira.
J-Lo and Shakira.
And
Has
Beyonce. Yeah, because
Beyonce,
and she got,
did
she got the girls back
the
together.
Destiny Child girls.
Yeah, that's why
anyway,
I said girls. I forgot their name as well.
Obviously, before his rumoured appearance, everyone's talking about him, it was maybe that it would be Miley Cyrus, who weirdly got up on stage with Beyonce a few nights ago in Paris. So Beyonce's had a lot of cameos, perhaps to help her with the ticket sales. I don't know, but...
Well, you can get over there and see a show,
I
Carrie.
don't know if
Report
now's
back.
the right time to go to the US.
But is she done in
You
Paris?
Yeah, she's going to the American League. Eli said before. Don't listen to Eli.
Sorry.
Anyway, should we get a bit of Crazy in Love on?
Yeah.
Carrie and Tommy.
Driving you home from 3 till 6. It's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
Ask what Papa's done.
What's Papa done?
Me.
Papa dumb.
Papa dumb.
Papa is
preach.
dumb.
I'm in trouble. Papa has done some internet shopping. And
Does Papa remember the internet shopping?
Just because Papa thought he got scammed. Because Papa
That's
saw
what happened last time.
Papa,
On your
the time
Amazon.
before.
Remember your delivery of your thing that you ordered, your artwork or something?
Oh no, I thought I got scammed then. I didn't. Remember?
But isn't this what you're saying? You thought you got scammed again?
Yeah, no, but I think I did this time, but in a different way than I thought I did. So I saw this cool, I thought, Nike jumper, and I'm like, oh, Papa's going to buy that. And I went to the shop and I bought it, and it went through some weird transaction. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It was like Susan's giftware or something. And I'm like, why is Papa always getting
Susan has always sold the freshest fits.
Why is Papa always getting scammed?
From Suzanne.
And I went, I'll go back and have a look at the other items for sale from this shop. And there was none. And then I couldn't even find. Yeah, I know. And then I
thought it was a gift shop. Was there no other gifts in the gift shop?
I thought it was a Nike shop. And then I went and I couldn't even find the shop. And then I went back to the link and went through and I could find this one Nike jumper. But I went, shop all items. Nothing. They had nothing. Not even the Nike jumper showed up. And then Papa was just waiting for his credit card to get done for other things. And then nothing came up and I forgot about it.
That is what they say to do if you're worried about being scammed, is to just wait for your credit card to get done.
Don't call in a precautionary
Yeah,
fashion.
don't lock it or talk to your bank.
How much was it?
I didn't want Susan to get shut down when she's just trying to run a legitimate gift shop.
How much did you spend on this Nike jumper?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
but
like
it was
$100?
It was a normal price. Yeah, like $100 or something.
Okay.
Anyway, then cut to Papa getting home from being away on the weekend, and Papa's got a Nike jumper there, and you won't believe it because it rocked up. So Papa didn't get scammed, right?
Right.
Until Papa unwrapped the jumper, and I thought that's weird. There's no Nike like packaging with it. It's just come in a plain plastic bag.
with a present wrapped up with a bow from Susan.
No bow, honestly, a plain plastic bag in like an express post thing. So Susan is expedited Papa's jumper, which Papa's very happy about.
Service
But
is
then,
excellent.
Firstly,
I love this.
Firstly, why did I buy this?
What is
That would look amazing on Eli, I reckon.
What is it? And Gary, what's that? Can you describe to people what it is?
So I don't know how to describe any of this. This is a white woolen type jumper that's got a patch of brown wool on it and a patch of olive green wool, and then it's got like
out of
as
the
if you're
retirement home.
stitching but with thick wool.
But
then
then
you
not
haven't
ended it?
you haven't ended off the stitch and
Yeah.
you've left it dangling.
Susan's cut up and combined 3 jumpers.
Yeah, so there's just loose
Susan's
threads.
crafted this.
So there's just loose threads on my jumper, which
I
which
actually
will come
really, and then it's got
which
a
will come
black Nike
Look at that.
stick.
That's going to come.
Well, don't pull at it.
So that will just come. It's just an unfinished stitch. You're right, but then there's just no labels.
Susan's made it. I like
Susan
it.
making
I think Susan's
counterfeit
got a
gear?
great business.
So it
yeah,
came-
put it on.
And
I
literally,
think
it came
it's
in a
really
plain
nice.
plastic bag.
What does Eli think? He's the fashionista, and he would look great with this. I think it's going to look great on you.
I like it. I like the
Oh,
colour.
it's very tight.
I was going to ask what size it is, but it doesn't have a tag, does it?
It doesn't
You
have
look
a
like you're in
tag.
Step Brothers where they wear the matching woolen.
It's a titty top.
jumper.
Like it's so small.
Oh,
on
the
me.
bit around your neck, the woolen bit around your neck's not so good.
But also just these
you look
threads.
good in anything, and that looks horrendous.
But also, it doesn't even have a tag like saying what fabric it is.
No,
Like,
it's
got
I think
no
it's polyester.
tag. It's
And
got
you
no
can't
tag.
afford to wash that the wrong way and have it shrink anymore.
My belly button's out.
Follow Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little on socials at Carrie Tommy Show.
Bye.
Bye.
Gary and Tommy are signing off. But if you're ready to kick off your next big idea, it helps to think a little differently. Liberty Loans hit different. They're free thinking, just like you. Find flexible loans at liberty.com.au. Eligibility criteria apply.